I want to talk about something that has fueled my creativity, something that gave me a masterclass in discipline and consistency, something that gave me solitude and taught me a lot about my ego, about humility, and showed me what I'm actually capable of. And that thing is running. So if you're a musician and you're here for the music content, you might be wondering, why is this guy talking about running? Fair question, but hold on for a sec, we'll get there. So, I want to share how I got into running and what it taught me, and why it might be something worth trying yourself. Hey everyone, Mark here. Welcome back to another episode of Mindset of a Musician. This week's topic is running. And I want to share my story, how I got into running, the injury that forced me to stop, the treatment process, and eventually the comeback. But more importantly, I want to talk about what running taught me. Not only about physical health and fitness, but also about discipline, about consistency, mental health, and creativity. So at first glance, running and music might seem completely unrelated. But over the years, I realized that they actually have a lot in common. So let's check it out and dive right in. In my teenage years, I tried to run frequently with my brother, but I was so exhausted and had side stitch every single time that I lost the motivation. It was not until COVID that I felt like I needed some balance to the part-time job I was working back then. So I started running when I felt like I needed to. And I did that for about 3 years until I felt a pain in my knee that stopped me from continuing. So in August of 2024, I tried it again. The pain seemed to be gone, and I was more disciplined and committed than ever before to do it at least 3 times a week. And that was also the time that I fell in love with running in the morning, because there is so much solitude and there's a special vibe that you experience when you're running in the morning, when you experience the sunrise, when you experience empty streets and you only hear birds singing, and yeah, it's just a very humbling feeling to be out there. Especially song ideas came to my mind more frequently, which I love. So when I ran my first half marathon together with my wife, the pain in my knee returned. So this time I got an MRI and I was diagnosed with patellar tendonitis. This meant I had to stop running again and that I had to put in a lot of work to strengthen my legs and especially my tendon. So I did that fully committed for about 9 months, and I also started cross training with swimming and cycling and just kept putting in the work. So what happened essentially was me going up too fast in duration and distance and putting my tendon under resistance without adjusting it to the load. So in those 9 months, I learned a lot about myself, about commitment, discipline, about patience, and that I truly missed the runs for several reasons that I come to in the next chapters. So creativity comes in various forms. To me, in most cases, it's a spark of inspiration of either something external or something internal. External meaning you pick up a conversation that inspires you, or you observe a scene that sparks an idea. And internal meaning your own thoughts, when you mind wandering or when you connect some thoughts that you haven't been able to connect before, you come up with an analogy or a metaphor, whatever. So that is internal thoughts. And I often have the best ideas when I'm doing something of low concentration but being physically active. And that can be just playing guitar, which is, being physically active in that kind of way. And yeah, a song idea comes up, of course, because I'm being on the instrument. Then there's physical activities like doing the household, doing the dishes, even showering can spark ideas because I'm doing something of low concentration, so my mind can wander. But running stands out the most because there's something to it when you're out there, you're breathing in fresh air, it's just room for mind wandering, which is one of the key factors of creativity. So you can just enjoy the solitude and thoughts will automatically pop up. And that's why it's important to have a phone or a watch that can record your thoughts or that you can write down something, but it's the easiest way to just, record it. It's also been shown in scientific studies that running and walking boosts creative thinking and problem solving. So researchers at Stanford University published a study in which they showed that moving your body by either walking or running boosts creative ideation by an average of 60% compared to sitting down. And that's what I experienced myself. So if you have writer's block, just go for a run or for a walk and see what happens, because you'll find that in most cases, when you're alone with your thoughts, you start to come up with something. It's just the way it is, and I think it's the way it's always been, because if you read the biographies of the greats, you'll find that they often walked when they wanted to come up with ideas. So running and music have more in common than you might think. So first off, when you're running, you have a rhythm and a tempo like in music. You're breathing to the rhythm of your strides, and you can even count your steps and count your breaths. So there's a natural flow that's been established over time. And another thing that running taught me is consistency. And consistency is as well very important for music and for content creation, of course. Because running only improves with repetition. You have to show up every single day so that you can improve. Otherwise, nothing happens. Same with music and content creation. You have to show up every single day and do your thing, because showing up matters more than intensity. So the next thing that music and running have in common is patience. You have to be very patient and be locked in the process, because if you trust the process, you're very focused on your next step, on what you're going to do the next day, what you're going to do today, what is important today and right now, and not what's important in a year or 3 months or whatever. So that is what running taught me as well. I had to be patient when I got injured, because I had to trust the process, that I'm doing all these slow resistance training sessions and all these stretching sessions and the foam rolling and all that stuff every single day. Like, it was an hour to 2 hours time invest every single day. So I didn't know if that's gonna, make me come back into running, but I just trust the process. And you have to trust the process in music as well. You have to trust yourself that if you learn a bar of a song or solo that is very, very challenging, you'll get there. But you can't just play the whole thing. It's just not possible. So that is what running really taught me, being patient. So the important truth is that skills are built and not given. You have to be patient, to endure the process, and that's what running teaches me every single day. And I need that in music as well, because sometimes I get so caught up in my thoughts, in overthinking, in comparison, that I can't see the forest for the trees, and I get frustrated. And I don't want to be frustrated, because I want to be present in the moment. And when I do run in the morning, I can reset my mind on the important things that are about to come during the day. So if you think running is still not your thing and you haven't even tried it out, the next chapter is a how to start guide and the mistakes I made when I first got into running. So first things first, you don't need any fancy equipment to start running. What I would recommend is at least investing in some good running shoes, because otherwise you maybe run into an injury too quick. So next thing would be warming up properly and maybe doing some flexibility work to get your body moving. And after that, always stretch and cool down. That's really important. So that should be part of your running routine. When you go running, it's really important to warm up and to stretch after. There are plenty of videos out there on YouTube, on probably Instagram and TikTok as well. So search for something that works for you and just do it every time you go for a run. And then when it comes to running itself, I think breathing is one of the most important things you can pay attention to. And that's what I didn't do back then when I had side stitch all the time. So there's something you can do to align your breathing with the way you run. So just try to inhale for 2 steps and exhale for 2 steps, or maybe inhale for 2 steps and exhale for 3 steps. It's up to you. You have to feel if the rhythm works. But the important thing is just to align that with your strides. And the last thing, but probably the most important thing, is don't start too fast. So running puts a lot of pressure and load on the ankles, on the tendons, and on your bones. You have to let your body adapt to the stress you're putting on it. So just remain for a certain duration or mileage for at least a month or maybe even 2 months. Let your body adapt to the load you're putting on it. And that's very, very important. That's what I didn't pay attention to when I was running back then and ran myself into the injury. So don't start too fast. It's really important. Don't let your ego fool you into thinking that you're a slow runner or that you're not good enough, you're feeling behind, whatever. It's bullshit. Really. Just leave that out. Don't think about that. Just keep your own pace and whatever works for you, and stay for, let's say, 30 minutes duration, easy running for a month. You could even try to run and walk, make that interval training. So you could do like 1 minute of running and 30 seconds of just walking. And that is all possible. Just try out different things and see what works for you. But let your body adapt to the load you're putting on it. So run for yourself and not for the others. And let your mind wander and just enjoy the discomfort you're putting yourself in, because that is where true growth happens. That is outside of your comfort zone, and it is where the magical things happen. It's where our mind really can freely start to connect things that we are not able to connect when we are rationally thinking during the day. And use that time when you're out there and enjoy the fresh air, enjoy nature. Just observe what's going on there. Maybe even don't put any, AirPods into your ears. Don't listen to music or podcasts, at least on some runs, that you can listen to the birds sing and the river flowing and whatever is surrounding you. So it's not just a way to progress your endurance. It's something that shapes your character. And that way you will approach music and content creation as well. So I hope this video sparked the motivation to maybe buy some running shoes. If it did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to dive deeper into topics like this, please join me in my Mindset Money newsletter. Link is in the description. So now let me know in the comments if you want to start running and commit to it, or if you have any experiences you want to share. So thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next one.